Hello guys, welcome to New Society. I'm Nona Prince and I'm joined by
Varun.
and today we'll be talking about Black Widow spoiler discussion. If you haven't seen the movie, go watch it because we'll be going into spoilers. And the film has finally come out in India. So Varun
Yeah.
has actually already seen the movie long back, and today
Hmm.
he watched it again for this discussion. And I saw it recently, and yeah, we have thoughts. So again, spoiler warning. We'll be going deep into it and talking about it all out. So again, spoiler warning. And if you enjoy the discussion, like, share, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, hopefully we'll be doing a live discussion. So Varun, let's start with our overview, general overview. Let's keep it brief.
I think it was definitely it came out very late, and also just what everything that happened in the film. It was, of course, very separate from the MCU. That was, I think, a good thing. They did not connect much with the wider MCU. It was only contained in like the Black Widow bubble. But yeah, it was definitely very late, had no consequences to the entire MCU, and it was a decent action film, I would say.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, not really. You can skip this one, ideally.
I think when you're watching it like a MCU marathon, you can play it after Civil War. When
Yes.
this film should have come out.
Yeah, ideally,
But
yes.
like if you have already seen the all the movies, you don't watch it, you don't miss
Mhm.
anything. Except maybe if we see Yelena again or Red Guardian
Yeah.
again in the future. Maybe because of
Hmm.
that. Yeah, it kind of feels like a Yelena origin story.
Yes.
Rather than Black Widow. And I think I remember coming out of the movie as underwhelming. I had very less
Hmm.
expectations, so it was not like I was expecting so much, nothing happened. But
Hmm.
at least I was expecting at least pay tribute to this character which Scarlett Johansson played, Natasha
Yeah.
Romanoff. And at the by the end of the film, it wasn't that. It felt like a total filler. It felt like
Hmm.
an afterthought. I think that's most
Yes.
people call the film.
Yeah, an afterthought. Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
just
that's I
feels like
think the
that.
word.
It's like, okay, let's just make, man. People are asking for it, let's just make a Black Widow film. And that's had never happened with MCU. And I
Hmm.
am little disappointed. And I think one of the I've not seen Incredible Hulk, I have not seen Thor the Dark World. I don't really remember Iron Man 3, so I don't know if this is the worst film. I don't count Captain Marvel worst film. I think it's a good film.
Okay.
So I
Hmm.
think this film may come not and again not. I think it's not that it's a bad film. It's, as you said, very well
Hmm.
made action, solid action film. Very
Yeah.
distinct from different from Marvel.
Yeah.
I think the beginning is so dark. The whole
Yeah.
title sequence, everything. It
Yeah.
feels so. Oh my God, this doesn't feel like a Marvel film at all.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And I
It
think
was.
in
It felt a
yeah.
lot like a James Bond
Yeah,
film
yeah,
or
yeah.
something like
And I
a
think in
Mission
that sense it
Impossible.
stands out. But also my
Hmm.
one problem is with that, it's not like a Marvel film. The
Hmm.
heart is not there. That is missing. And I think
I
half of
think
the
so.
film, when there's a whole family thing going on, I was actually
Hmm.
enjoying the film by that time. I
Yeah.
think the whole
Yeah.
third
Yeah.
half with the what's that guy? The main villain?
Dreykov.
Yeah,
Dreykov.
Dreykov and the Taskmaster. People were like pretty pissed off with that, but I didn't even care.
Yeah.
And that whole
Yeah.
segment
Yeah.
felt so rushed. It felt like
Hmm.
three movies in one. That whole thing they covered it
Hmm.
so quickly. And
Yeah.
the whole thing that when the actor survives, and we know in the future, never do this mistake of showing, oh, now what will happen, will she die? Of course we know it will not die. What's the point of building this
Yeah.
fake tension? And
Hmm.
even I think the VFX was not up to the mark in the last half.
Yeah. Definitely.
It
Yeah.
was really, really off. I don't know, like,
Yeah.
who watched in theaters. I
Yeah.
could see it in my screen. I don't know what
Yeah.
could
It,
have been
it
in
looked very
theaters.
off. Yeah.
Yeah. So all of these things, and let's dive into the finer details. So let's start
Hmm.
with the things we liked.
Yeah, I think yeah. Let's start with the positives. I think for me, I really liked all the side characters. Like I would love to see more of Yelena. I would love to see more of Red Guardian. They did very well with those characters, and I think since none of them died, so chances are that we will see them sometime in the future.
Yeah.
We don't know when, but we know about Yelena, but we don't know when. And I also like that, I think this film had the first major big like film and Disney Plus connection,
Yeah.
Disney Plus like shows connection.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
bought
Kind
that
of.
character. So I mean, this is just the beginning, since this is technically like the first Phase 4 film. So if they are doing this in the first Phase 4 film, I think this is just the beginning. They will the connections will keep on getting bigger and more connected in the
Yeah.
future. Yeah. Also, another thing is, unlike many people, I did not hate Taskmaster. I think I like the suit. I feel like what they have done here is, again, they've kind of done the sort of thing that I think they did in the first Ant-Man. Like, yeah, the powers, the villain, like the person themselves don't have the power. It is the suit which gives the
Yeah.
power. So the suit is still going to be used by someone else in the
Hmm.
future. So they can always like bring a comic accurate
I remember
Taskmaster.
watching this meme,
Yeah.
it's like we got 10 years to
Mm.
get the Mandarin, 10
Mhm.
years for some other character, or Deadpool, 10
Mm.
years later we got the good Deadpool, and maybe 10 years later we'll get a good Taskmaster. But I think
Yeah.
for me, Taskmaster, I remember, your video only you made, guys, check it
Mhm.
out, all the characters in Black Widow explained, and in that
Yeah.
Taskmaster, the history, and in the comics and everything. So only that's the information I had, and I was not expecting something from
Mm.
that character. And for me
Yeah.
also, I was okay with it. Again, it was rushed, not well done, but
Mhm.
that was not the big issue. It was maybe
Yeah.
the nitpicking later, but there was so many glaring
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
issues apart from that. Yeah.
And I think those who are talking about, like they gender bent the
Oh,
character,
I don't
I
care.
don't think that's,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't care about that.
What
That
does it
was
matter?
like, even in the future, they can bring a female actor. I don't care, as long as, it is the character, it is the same assassin character that we know, it's fine.
Yeah.
Also, I think another good part, I think now there's a bit more in detail in the film, but I really liked how they actually explored like the Black Widow's powers and all that. Like, she doesn't have powers, but like, I was wondering if they had not brought up the face swapping technology, but they
Yeah.
brought that up,
I
and
didn't
I
see
think
that
I
coming,
liked that
man.
moment.
I
Yeah,
didn't
that
see
was
that
a nice
coming.
moment.
I think until you said,
And
I could
yeah.
see in your eyes the that whole line, and then we cut
Hmm.
to Red Guardian and her, like
Yeah.
Natasha in the locker room, and then we
Hmm.
come back, and then he just goes to touch her face. I'm like, oh, I get it. Okay, it's her all the way. But I didn't see that coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
that
that
time I
was.
was like wondering, like, what now, like I didn't know
Yeah.
what is gonna happen. And not in a
Yeah.
good way, by the way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was thinking, now she's in the jail, they will try to escape from there, and of course, some action scene will happen and all that. But yeah, I think after that point, like the film just started going a bit downwards, and so many things were happening. A lot of them didn't make sense. Like at one point, they showed the whole structure like collapsing, and inside it was still very stable. And then after some time, suddenly things started falling away. All that was it was like a CGI mess. But yeah, I think most of my good points. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
those were the good things that I like.
I think surprising. I think a lot of people were surprised about the humor in the film, and I
Hmm.
kind of liked
Yeah,
it. It was, interesting
yeah.
blend. Even with Red
Mm.
Guardian with Yelena, I think she was very surprisingly, very
Mm.
funny. With that whole pose thing,
Oh
that whole
yeah.
dialogue, and that whole dialogue with her and Red Guardian about they removed our uterus and everything.
Mhm.
And then he's like, we have enough fuel, and then we cut to the helicopter just crashing. So a lot of
Yeah.
these. Then Red Guardian, when they attack the house, and Red Guardian's like,
Mm.
and they hit him with that dart. What's the
Oh
dart?
yeah.
What is the dart?
Yeah.
That yeah,
Tranquilizer.
tranquilizes kind of
Yeah.
thing. And like you think you can stop, and then like 10 15 of them, like small
Yeah.
small, it was not like funny
But yeah,
like some other
it
movies,
was.
but it was quite fun humor kind of a thing,
Mm.
which I was happy with. Other
Yeah.
than that, as you said, the side characters, I think Red Guardian was really fun. Would like to see more. And I have a theory, and this theory came to me first, and then I saw some other videos and people were talking about it too. And it's a very fake theory. I don't think it may happen, but I think Red Guardian is not telling lies. He did fight Captain
Mm.
America, but the time travel in Captain America. The
Oh
Captain America was
yeah.
with Peggy Carter,
Yeah.
and he fought him, and and
Oh yeah.
everyone thinks he's lying, and how can you fight? But he did fight. That'd be
Yeah.
really, really, really interesting, and I think a
I
lot of
think
people are
even,
talking about it.
yeah, the like after the film came out, of course, someone had asked the actor that what did you think about that humor, that joke, that do you think you can actually survive if your character fights against Captain America? So he just played along. He said no, he has actually fought Captain America, and we are telling the truth in the film. So yeah. But yeah, that will be interesting. What if that has happened?
Like I was pretty like,
Yeah.
this can happen. This is like, I would like to see that fight. Maybe there are reports of Captain America 4, right? Like there's
Yeah,
one
yeah.
with Sam Wilson and one with Chris Evans. They are in works, I
I
guess.
don't think with Chris Evans, but I think yeah, Chris Evans will return at some point. Now that could be it could be the time traveling, or it could just be the old one giving advice to Sam Wilson. But I think at some point
Interesting.
he will come back.
Yeah, man, Red Guardian and Yelena really loved her. Again, I think Taskmaster. It was nice concept but rushed, and I think from
Of
that
course,
let's
very.
let's come to the whole negative parts. I think the first one is the whole Budapest thing,
Yeah.
that every all that thing with the Jeremy Renner, the Hawkeye, it's just done in dialogues, it's so rushed. And again, this we needed this film before, you could have
Yeah.
made Black Widow 2 before Endgame, and then
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
get make more sense. But again, the same thing, same problem. It feels so rushed in just talk. First of all, I am not, I don't even remember the dialogue of Loki in Avengers, Dracov's daughter and everything. I don't even remember that. And I
Yeah.
think I heard a lot of people talking about brought it back and all. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and even all the dialogues about Budapest with him, I never, paid attention. Like, okay, whatever, I don't know what they're talking about. And the way they don't even, visually show that, it's just done in dialogue. I was not a big fan of that. I wanted to see more
Yeah,
of it.
I mean, I think a lot of people were hoping for like a Hawkeye cameo in a flashback or something. Even I agree that I think they could have done that. It would just have been better in binding it more to the MCU maybe. But then I see why they did not do that. But then what they went with was that also didn't work. So yeah.
But wanted that initial days, of Black Widow, like I love the whole first sequence. I think the whole childhood sequence and how they run off and what happens, the whole
Yeah,
until
yeah.
that credit scene, the title credit scenes. I love that whole part. I I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
enjoying it a lot and loved the style, the different darker tone. I loved
Yeah.
all of that. But I
I
think
think yeah,
after that,
that's a thing I forgot in my positive. But yeah,
yeah.
that was very well done.
And I think next thing is so I'm someone who watched, like, because with the new James Bond movie, right? Just because not Sam Raimi, Rami Malek is in that
Rami
film.
Malek, yeah.
He's my favorite. So just because of that, I binge watched all James Bond, the newer ones, and I had not
Oh,
seen any of them. And I
yeah,
find them ridiculous. They are
yeah.
so stupid. They are so over the top. No logic.
He's like a
No
superhero.
sense.
He's
He's not
actually
even
like
superhero.
Black
He's like
Widow.
our Indian commercial movies. The guy's
Yeah,
flying. There's no
Kingdom.
sense. Just to make the chase sequence. The
Yeah,
guys running on top. What will you do on top now? You'll jump. Like, what's the point? Just to make it more fun. It's just anything is happening.
yeah.
I don't like that aspect of even Mission Impossible. The thing is Mission Impossible, and he keeps getting in the impossible things and he then does it. That's more fun in Mission Impossible. But in James Bond, it's totally out of logic. It's just he can do anything. And I think in this film, that was my biggest quip, because this was inspired from those movies. Even the Bond
Yes.
movies, I've not seen much of them. But that thing I didn't like. And all the action sequences, they were done well. Nothing wrong with the action sequences, but there was just too much. I don't think even Captain America needed those.
Yeah.
Just the size of the action sequences. That whole car crash into the subway. They should have died. And that whole the scene where they get Red Guardian out of the
Yeah.
jail, that
Yeah,
unless
yeah.
it is a spy thriller, they should
Yeah.
hide in the shadows, nothing should come out. And then Dracov is saying we are hidden from the society. What society? Taskmaster is destroying everything in that city, chasing them.
Yeah.
It's like,
Even in
what?
the jail scene, like they were just firing guns at the helicopter, and I was like, that's not even like a proper helicopter. How is it surviving?
Yeah,
Like,
and
all
then
these
she's
logic.
just sitting with her launcher waiting to aim, and he's firing and nothing hits her. And I'm like, what logic is this? And then the whole,
Yeah.
ending sequence, just full on CG blown up, and it just, you want spy action to be, in the shadows, hiding.
Yeah.
And then you're saying, in the film that no, we were hiding and all. That how is that hiding? Why is no Avenger or the people who signed Sokovia Awards after Taskmaster for doing all the destruction? It's like, what is this
Yeah.
meaning? I didn't like that's the only reason I didn't like the action sequences. Also in the beginning when both the fight between the sisters, that was good, but after that when Black Widows attack them, Natasha falls off, the building. How did she survive that? Captain America would not get up after that. Even he need to go to ICU or something. And there's a lot of similarities between this and Winter Soldier, right? Even the whole ending. If Bucky was not there, Captain America would have died in that last scene, right? In Winter Soldier. And he's like, she's, skydiving and nothing is happening. Even the sister is falling, and just by chance she's safe from the, falling things. And then there's a parachute just sitting there around there. No one picked it up. All these things just, come out in like, what nonsense is this, I don't remember when I felt that in a Marvel movie, it's
I feel
really...
like, I mean, these logic issues sometimes, one way for them could be that, it's a superhero film. It's just happening. But on the other hand, because there were already so many issues that, we are even like noticing these things as well. Like, I think you can, especially with guns, bullets, things like that why is not this character getting shot, but others around him are getting shot. Like that's the sort of thing you can bring up even in Winter Soldier, or like any other film which has gun fights in it. But because there are so many other logical issues before and after that we are also noticing this thing as well. So that just adds up to the negative thing.
And I always say this, that when the film is not engaging, right, you're out of the film, you're noticing all of this. You are not watching the film, you're not into it because you're already out, and you're now, that's this you notice all of that. And that would happen, all these small nitpicking, it can be called, but it was an issue. What was up with that character, man, who was getting the plane and helicopter and the agent guy?
I mean, I think he's some popular TV actor. I don't know much, but when they casted him, so everyone was saying that he is the Taskmaster.
I heard that.
But he was not. He's some behind the scenes guy who has been helping, I think, both Black Widow and I think the Avengers also until now, to just get things and all that. So yes, I heard someone say that, in the first Avengers, like he was the one who helped Black Widow, I think, go to India to, recruit Hulk or something like that. I mean, behind the scenes, guy. We have never seen him, we just saw him now. That's what they intend to do.
I remember hearing someone saying that this film answers question that we didn't even ask. Why was she wearing that jacket? Oh, it was his sister's. Yeah, we didn't even ask that. Okay, that's extra information, but all right. It's
and
like...
that too, I mean, she wears it just for Infinity War. We don't see it again in Endgame, when it would have made more sense that, maybe her sister has gotten snapped, so she's wearing that as a memory. But we just see it in Infinity War, and it was, didn't make sense.
We were talking about the side characters, and I love that dining room scene between them, and how it follows, and I loved how effed up the parents were, like the supposed parents. He does care about himself and his pride and everything. She does care about her. She did this, she enjoyed, not enjoyed, this was a job, that's why she was born, and she was born in this box, and that's what her life world is. And I think that was very interesting, concepts and ideas, and I loved it. They were doing it, it was very bold. And again, I think as a whole film, it's a very bold attempt, doing something different, but this is just time, it doesn't work at all. It's just a mess. And I love that. And then suddenly, the mother character Melina, right? She changed. She is now helping her. What happened so quickly? And then father also in the jail. Okay, he realizes all his mistakes. Thing that was, again, the rushed part. That was not fun. That was, again, the third half, it just destroys it. The whole ending part, man, the Thunderbolt Ross is coming. Then what happened? Like, show us.
I think, again, people were saying that, they had taken the Taskmaster, like that lady, I don't even remember the name, the daughter character. They had, like, the other Black Widows had taken
Antonia.
Antonia.
Because the Taskmaster in comics is Tony something, so that's a play on the word.
So they had taken her, but the helmet was still lying there. So people were saying that Thunderbolt Ross must have taken that and he will use it for like another Taskmaster or something. So that they will tell in some other film, but that's why the thing that Taskmaster will return is a possibility.
But what's up with that? Like, what happened? Like, did she run away?
I think all the
directly you cut there, and then she's now she's the colors changed, and now she's going with the ship. Like, you're trying to fill in the gaps, and you're not even filling in the gaps. You're giving more blanks. Like what happened in the between? That was
Yeah, I don't.
the whole
No
ending
idea
part,
about
man. It
that.
was underwhelming because my only expectation from the film was give me I want to root for Black Widow by the end. I want to cheer for her, and then they do get in the the Red Room program, the Black Widow mythos. Mythos, and
Yeah.
they do go into that, but it's just rushed. It's just a plot, nothing related to her. And at the end also, that she just leaves, and there's the Avenger music, and then you cut to that fireflies, and come on, like what is this end? This is so underwhelming. At least
Yeah.
give us a I was expecting at least a funeral, like Tony got in Endgame. At least have get actors, the main five at least, or
Yeah.
whoever is left. Just there's a scene which happened, we didn't see in Endgame, that they are all sitting together and talking about her. I think that could have been a post credit, or the end of the film, talking about her
Yeah.
legacy, maybe. I wanted that. And now I understand the fact that that would have taken away from the film. I think Kevin, the director, was saying that we had plans, but then they removed it. We
No,
didn't want
yeah,
it to
they even had, I
overshadowed.
think, Tony Stark cameo or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So it's we know she's dead. We know the film already feels like
Yeah.
it's afterthought. And they did the right thing, actually. They went to make a film, not to pay a tribute, because then they would have been like caught in their own trap of, oh shit, we didn't make it early. And I think Kevin Feige said that, he said in an interview that he wanted to make Black Panther way back. He wanted to do Black Widow way back, but it's just he
Yeah.
didn't have the creative control, and he got it after Captain America. Civil War. After Civil War, he got the whole control, and then he had
Yeah.
to plan it out to set it up, and then bring Black Widow in. But it was just too late, and it's just I wanted a homage. I wanted that.
Yeah.
Have her whole appearances throughout the films. I'm okay
Yes.
if you do that. I'm totally fine. I don't care if it's not a part of the film, or so it should not be, and all of that. I want that thing. I want someone to look up to her. I want her place in the Avengers gallery, or a young girl or boy is reading that, and I wanted that. And it just ends. She flies off end, and then there's this post-credit scene I didn't care about. Again, it's a Yelena scene. It has nothing to do,
Yeah.
and she just comes to the grave. She whistles, and the emotional beats, and she has a dog now. And in the beginning, that whole scene where they were drinking and talking
Yeah.
about what if our life could have been, and then I think
I
that
think at
connects.
that point and that was an interesting conversation, because she mentioned that you got a chance to get out of the Red
Yeah.
Room, but others did not, and all
Yeah.
that. So again, there were good things in the middle, but it was just the rest of it didn't really work.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think I actually could have cut off what is this, Andre, whatever,
Draco.
Dreykov. Just cut off Dreykov. There's just Taskmaster, and by the end you realize there's Dreykov, and and then she needs to go, and then we get Black Widow 2, where like Yelena takes care of him, and kind of her guilt of not having her sister and all could have built off that. Or maybe it could have been Dreykov he died. It's the sister, it's the daughter that taking the revenge. It's Taskmaster, not anyone else. It's her controlling everything. That that we want a twist at the end, and it's like so generic. He literally with the ring and shows up what is up, and sets up this whole the villain monologue, giving away
Yeah.
everything, and then he dies. Like it is so stereotypical thing we see in
I think again they were trying to show that Black Widows can manipulate and get information out, but it did not come out that way. It came out like a very generic villain monologue.
Just look at the Loki Black Widow scene in Avengers. How well does it work?
Yeah.
And then look at this, and it's like, what? Really? You did all of this? And then that whole cheap trick of showing cutting back to, oh, this is, they have already planned it, and then coming back, and then again they later cut it back, and she gets to know that there's an aura, and she smells, she cannot hit him, and anything. Now just say anything, and you think it's all of that.
Everything is planned from before. It's like the water TikTok,
Guys, if you haven't seen that, generally the foreign audience do watch that TikTok. It's a famous Indian TikTok.
Indian
You'll find
water
it.
spitting TikTok.
I think it's called Rider Provider TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm a rider. provide just you enjoy.
Yeah.
And there's this one that it's a parody and they take it to the next level, right?
Oh yeah.
With the missile and the nuclear blast and everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, it's like yeah, I think that's it. An afterthought and underwhelming experience. Yeah, and that's not the two things you say after watching a Marvel film.
Yeah. I think in a long time, we are getting to use underwhelming word for a Marvel film. Last must be, I think, Thor: The Dark World or something. That was in
Did you watch that film?
2013. Yeah.
You know,
I did
my
not watch it in theaters, but whenever I saw it, I thought, yeah, it's very underwhelming.
I think I saw it on TV, just parts. Always the beginning part where Jane reaches there and then she's enjoying this royalty, and then the ending part, then they're jumping off the words. That's it. I've never seen the middle portion. The
Yeah.
way the mother dies and all of that, I've never seen that. And I think for me also, my first my MCU movie was Age of Ultron in the theaters. Before that,
Okay,
everything I watched was on TV or laptop or all of that
Yeah.
stuff. And then I think after Age of Ultron was which movie? I think after that I saw, because after that
Civil War. I mean, Civil War
college
is the
start,
next
right?
big one.
Yeah, college started. So then I watched everything in theater, and most of you with
Yeah.
you. So yeah, man, that's
Yeah.
the journey. And I think for me, I've not seen some movies, but for me it's really below the mark. Yeah, you can call it the least favorite or the worst film, whatever one. The
Yeah.
choice of words is on you, whichever one you like. What about you, Varun? Parting thoughts?
Yeah, I think I would still, I don't think it's still the worst. I still think Thor: The Dark World is the worst, because like it had genuinely bad filmmaking,
Okay.
and the good parts were, of course, it also had a couple of good parts, couple of like funny, humorous scenes, but still, like, it was like bad filming. Like it had
They redeemed the
it's
film, right?
very good.
With
Yeah, they have kind
Endgame
of
and
redeemed, in Endgame, Loki, everything. But yeah, like as a film, it doesn't stand up. Like it's totally skippable. You get the whole recap in Endgame, anyways. So yeah, it's that film that even they gave a recap in Endgame, because they know that not many people have seen and not many people will watch in a marathon, MCU marathon or anything. So I think but yeah, this will come after that. Also, I think I would say, yeah, it is a bit, on par with like Iron Man 2 or something like that for me. But yeah,
Okay.
definitely not a good film, not something that, I will rewatch again. And yeah, underwhelming and afterthought thing.
Yeah. So, what do you think? A lot of people were angry that Black Widow was done dirty in Endgame, but I was okay with it. I think it's a good end to the character. But I think this
Yeah.
movie, didn't pay her respect to her character and, did her dirty. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think what happened in Endgame was okay. So I think I have sort of mixed feelings about that. Like I think when I think about it in terms of the movie and the world, and I think especially like the relation between Hawkeye and Black Widow, it makes sense. But then also in some ways, I think that maybe when you look at when you look at it purely from popularity perspective, Black Widow was definitely more popular than Hawkeye. I think she would have had a brighter future if they would have kept her alive in the MCU. Like this film could have been totally different. Then it could just have been post Endgame, and she's returning and finding back her family and all that, and it would have led to a whole new franchise, I think. But yeah, what happened. But I think yeah, definitely this film did her dirty more than Endgame.
I was saying maybe that she was popular, that's why she died. But because for
I
me, the
think so.
way as you said, right, in the story, the way they set her up in the first half of Endgame, I think it was obvious that it has to be her, and she saves Clint, and Clint has a family to go back. Like she also has a family, but Clint has like kids and the wife and everyone too. That's what he was.
I mean,
That's
his
why.
whole point was that he lost them, and
Yeah.
then he only joined the Avengers again because they
Yeah,
told
that
that
whole
he will
hope
get
scene. Don't
back.
give me
Yeah.
hope, and then you give him hope, and then say you
Yeah.
die. So I know a lot
Yeah.
of people don't agree. Like Hawkeye should have died, and Black Widow. Like no. Like what would you tell the family that I had a choice that I could die and he should live to see you, but you want. Then I did like no, I would stay alive. No, and I think
Yeah.
for what the story they went for in Endgame, it worked for me. I think that's the thing. What if
Yeah.
we'll explore in What If in the season 2?
I think there is, one way in which they can still sort of redeem Black Widow, and that is when the Hawkeye TV series comes out. I hope, yeah, that whenever Hawkeye meets Selena, they have a conversation
Yeah. Yeah.
about her, or maybe when he's working with the new girl, what's her name, Kate Bishop. So
Yeah.
at that point, he says that it reminds me of working with Natasha or something like that. And I think like that's some way in which they can sort of redeem her, but it's not redemption properly. But yeah, I think it might be a better tribute than what we saw or
But in a
whatever.
TV show, that's
Yeah,
again a
that's
thing,
what.
right? Like in
Yeah,
Endgame, I was pissed off. The only thing I've pissed off in Endgame was they didn't like have a like they had a scene, with all the original Avengers, thinking about her death, and then
mm,
Hulk throws off that bench and everything. They did give it time, but I think if you're
yeah,
giving Tony Stark a funeral, you should definitely also give Black Widow a
mm,
scene of Black Widow or something. And we had that Hawkeye and Wanda talking, but come on.
yeah.
So I think that's definitely something. But yeah, that's for it, guys. And let us know your thoughts in the comments below. This was a long discussion. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, see you for check out other videos. If you enjoy it, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time with some other film, TV show, and everything. Bye bye.
Nice.
Keep geeking out.